Treaty settlements are the Crown or government's way of making up for some of the ways it broke the promises made in the treaty. The Crown has agreed it breached the treaty in a number of ways, including land confiscation, execution or detention of prisoners without trial, failure to preserve enough lands for iwi, the impact of the native land laws, and the taking of Māori land for public works, like hospitals and railroads, and then not using them for those purposes. The Waitangi Tribunal investigates claims against the Crown, and it can make recommendations, but it has no further powers. Only Parliament can agree to a settlement and award compensation. There are two types of settlement: historical, for breaches before 1992, and contemporary. The Office of Treaty Settlements is the part of the government that negotiates the settlement of historical claims. Settlements of contemporary claims are negotiated with the relevant government department. The historical settlement process generally works like this. The Crown prefers to settle all the claims of a claimant group at the same time. This means all historical claims of hapu and whānau within the larger group are addressed in one set of negotiations. During the negotiations, representatives of the claimant group and the Crown discuss the grievances and work out options for compensation or ways of putting things right, which is often called redress. Settlement redress usually includes an apology by the Crown for the treaty breaches, commercial redress, such as property and money, cultural redress, such as recognition of traditional place names, access to traditional food sources, and say in management of sacred sites and resources on Crown land. Once the negotiations have reached agreement, all the adult members of the claimant group vote on whether to accept or reject the Crown's offer. There is no full compensation for a claimant group's losses. Instead, settlement redress tries to recognise what was lost, restore the relationship between the group and the Crown, and help with the group's economic development. Legislation is then passed in Parliament that puts the settlement into effect and prevents the group from making any further historical claims. This is called full and final settlement. Lastly, the claimant group sets up an organisation to hold and use the settlement assets. This organisation has to be representative of the claimant group and accountable to all its members.